also ensure that our financial regulatory restructuring does not negatively impact the ability of financial institutions to continue to provide the American people, our small businesses, and our communities with access to capital. Ensuring liquidity in the markets will promote continued economic recovery. In my district in Pennsylvania, local businesses are reeling as a result of banks not lending. So we have to enact balanced reform that still allow for a healthy flow of capital. However, we must also ensure that consumers are protected and adequately informed in their financial choices, and that they are insured a variety of financial products that carry better disclosed and understood risk. Mr. Anderson, I do have a couple questions for you. In your testimony, you mentioned a host of federal regulations that mortgage brokers must comply with. Which federal agencies are charged with enforcing these regulations?
Well, we've got RESPA, that's number one under HUD. We've got Truth in Lending Act. I mean, that has to do with your disclosures, your good faith, your truth in lending. And all of us, mortgage brokers, mortgage bankers, bank savings loans, we all operate under that umbrella. Also in our states, individual states, we have to adhere to the same policies, and some of our states have predatory lending laws. In Louisiana, we just passed a law. There's no prepayment penalties, which is a good thing. So we're all under the same umbrella, and we have to comply with our own state lending laws, and we've got the Safe Licensing Act, which is for everybody.
Well, let me ask you, because there's a number of agencies, do you think it would be better, in your view, to combine enforcement under one agency or entity rather than having to deal with a number of different agencies?
I don't know if that's going to create a bottleneck. I'm not sure. We feel that we need to slow down, maybe look at this further. I mean, we're all for, the National Association of Mortgage Brokers is all for simpler, easier disclosures. I think if we look at what happened in the past with the subprime and all those other loans, I think I kind of relate it to the pharmaceutical industry. If you take Vioxx, what happened to Vioxx? It was bad. We didn't go after the pharmacists or the little drugstores on the corner. We went after the manufacturer. And I think if we control the manufacturer, that is the product, if the product caused the foreclosure crisis, we need to eliminate that product.
Let me ask you then a question that sort of goes along with that, because it's been reported that mortgage brokers who process the subprime loans are now counseling individuals who are indebted by those loans regarding their restructuring. So does your association promote standards by which brokers evaluate the financial suitability of loan products by prospective borrowers? Or do you just rely upon the lenders, underwriters for that? Well,
the way the National Association of Mortgage Brokers operate, I mean, we have a very strong code of ethics. We do not have a fiduciary responsibility with the borrowers. We counsel the borrowers. We do not underwrite the loans. And I'll give you a prime example where the mortgage broker got blamed, and that was with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And we know what happened there. But I can tell you guys, I mean, I've done a lot of loans, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac had an automated underwriting system. And they would approve borrowers at 100% financing with a 65% debt-to-income ratio before taxes. Now, can the mortgage broker turn that borrower down when it was approved by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? If we did take that approach, if I would turn somebody down for that, I could be sued because for discrimination or what have you. And those were the mistakes that happened.
So what is your role then in this? I mean,
the role as a mortgage banker, a mortgage broker, is to offer the products just like an insurance broker. Why do you go to insurance broker? Because they represent a whole host of carriers. The mortgage broker does the same thing. We represent a whole host of carriers of lenders and banks across the country. We service a lot of rural, small areas. And the mortgage broker has done a phenomenal job. There's equal blame across the board for banks, mortgage bankers, mortgage brokers.
So you don't have any financial stability standards then that you as an association apply?
I mean, we have a strong code of ethics.
Okay, thank you. My time is up. I yield back.
Would the gentle lady yield? Mr. Harris, if you provide a bad advice to a customer, a client, will you be liable?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Anderson, if you sell a product that is inappropriate, that is not a good product, are you liable?
It's a hard question to, I mean, if I...
My guess is that that is the core of her question.
Right.
When she asked regulators,
Right.
there is not such regulator who will come in and examine, do any regulating examination of your activities.
Well, no, we are regulated. We are examined. On the state level, we are examined. And
well,
if
we're
they're HUD
talking here
approved,
about
we
the
are
federal
examined.
government and federal legislation that is pending before, that are being
Right.
considered now, that are being worked by Chairman Frank. So the question is, if consolidating federal regulations so that it has uniformity with the mortgage brokers industry.
Chairman, if I could also
Yes.
comment, because I answered you with a very simple answer when I said, oh, yes. Not only to our client, but if we provide bad tax advice and in the end as a result of an IRS audit, the IRS can and will fine us significantly. We also face criminal penalties from the IRS.
Okay. Mr. Westmoreland.
Thank you. And